Alright, welcome back to Hot Topics TV. You never been here before? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV. Man, have y'all seen this lawsuit against Lizzo? Damn. I mean, have y'all really seen this lawsuit against Lizzo? Lizzo sued by former backup dancers for alleged sexual, racial harassment and hostile work environment. I'm going to read this to you, but the details of this lawsuit, the first thing I thought to myself was it time for Lizzo to be humiliated? I'm on the outside looking in, man. I'm not one of the people that are in the industry, so to speak. So, you hear stories all the time, right? You hear about Illuminati, you hear about rituals, you hear about hazing, you hear about all kinds of stuff, right? But we're on the outside looking in, right? Okay. This also reminds me of the Tiffany Haddish situation, because Tiffany, believe it or not, Tiffany has been blackballed. You know, this summer was coming up, or leading up to the summer, I thought Tiffany Haddish would have had like a whole lot of specials on different networks, Netflix at least, a new movie, maybe, something. Tiffany was on fire. She was going. She had a lot of projects going. A lot of money invested, a lot of people, ooh-ha, Tiffany, the new sensation. You know, Kevin Hart was backing her, speaking about her every chance he got. And then as soon as Tiffany got accused of what she got accused of, remember with them kids and the Spares dudes, comedian, as soon as that happened, watch how fast Kevin Hart just never said the name Tiffany Haddish anymore. He just separated himself quickly. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him, because who wants to lose all that they have worked for and built for themselves and their family and their fan base, to lose all that because you are associated with somebody who people are crucifying. Let's put it that way, right? Now, wrong or right, I'm not discussing the Tiffany Haddish situation. I'm just saying she got blackballed. Out of nowhere came this situation. And is this Lizzo's turn? Alright, let's get into the details. Shout out to people.com. So, 3 of Lizzo's former dancers are suing the singer for sexual and racial harassment, as well as allegedly creating a hostile environment. The lawsuit, provided to people by the plaintiff's law firm, was filed on Tuesday morning in Los Angeles County Superior Court against the singer, whose real name is Melissa Jefferson. That's her real name. Her production company, which is called Big Girl, G-R-R-R-L Girl, Big Touring Inc., and Lizzo's dance team captain, Charlene Quigley. In this lawsuit, the dancers Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez, they alleged that they were pressured by Lizzo into touching nude performers while they were at a club in Amsterdam, and they were forced to endure weight shaming. The dancers claimed in their complaint that at a club called Bananen Bar, where attendants can interact with the nude performers. I don't know what kind of club they were going to, but you know, rich people, famous people, they have access to things. Their parties are usually different anyways. You go in there and you will have like naked people walking around, naked people laying down, people eating food off of a naked person's body, like a whole fruit salad bar is placed on a naked body, and your job for the day is to just lay there butt ass naked while people come and pick grapes and little pieces of cut up cantaloupe and whatever fruits or vegetables or whatever they have spread out on the body. That's just how they get down, right? You got a lot of money, you traveled the world, things get boring. So they do a lot of different stuff that us regular people don't do. And that's just how it is. Well, it was one of these kinds of parties that Lizzo apparently took her team to, her dancers, and three of them are now alleging that while the performers were walking around naked, that Lizzo was forcing them to touch these naked performers. Touch that body. Touch that dick. Touch it. I don't know if that's how it went. I can only imagine. Somebody is going to say, why are you laughing at a situation like this? Because I wasn't there, and because I can surely inject some humor into this situation. Touch that dick. Touch it. I mean, you're a grown person, right? If I'm sitting at an event, I'm not into dick. So if I'm sitting at an event and I see some grown person walking by, and it's one of these kind of events where the performers are naked, my boss or the person I work for, he couldn't be there or she couldn't be there telling me, touch it, touch that dick, touch it. I'm not touching that shit, right? And I'm not suing after. I'm not going to be like, oh, I touched dick and now I'm suing you. I don't get it. What I'm trying to say is I don't really understand the basis for this lawsuit. Okay, let's get further into the lawsuit. The dancers claimed in their complaint that at a club called Banana Bar, where attendees would interact with the nude performers, Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching dildos. They were throwing dildos and they were catching some big ass dildos, catching dildos launched from the performers. So the performers were throwing dildos and they were catching according to them. And, launched from the performers' vaginas. Wow. So maybe they like catching it like that. Because I don't know how hard or how fast or how far a vagina can actually launch a dildo. What the hell they be getting into? Damn. Okay. Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching nude performers, catching dildos that were launched from the performers' vaginas, and eating bananas that were protruding from the performers' vaginas. Wow. So somebody is sit there spread out like I explained before, where they'll eat all the fruits and vegetables off of you. I guess one of these persons had spread eagle and there was a banana that was sticking out. You know, half of the banana inside of the coochie and half of the banana was outside of the coochie. And they're claiming that Lizzo allegedly forced them to eat that banana. Eat half of the banana. Eat a piece of the banana out of the vajayjay. Ain't nobody forcing me to do that shit. Not in no public space. Anyways, I'm just saying. That's some intimate, you know what? That's some stuff that if you choose to do that at home with your lover, then that's another story. But to have me out here eating banana for yo, this is wild. This is wild. So Lizzo, who's 35 years old, then allegedly began pressuring Davis to touch the breast of one of the nude performers, despite the dancer expressing her desire not to touch the performer. I don't want to do it. I don't want to touch it. Touch it! According to the lawsuit, the same night Lizzo allegedly badgered the security guard to get on the club's stage until he submitted to her demand. Get up there! Get up there! Get up there! John, get up there. These things, I mean, in that world, I can see how you could be feeling pressured, right? You're earning a paycheck, you're in front of a multi-millionaire, famous multi-award winner. This person is the it person on radio, I mean, it's Lizzo, right? And you're just earning a paycheck and you're trying to be a part of this world. She can easily snap her fingers and you are gone from that world. Like, you off her tour, you're not a part of her team anymore, and you probably won't work with anybody else who she is aligned with if she ever sees you and she goes, come here, get rid of him. Trust me, get rid of him. They probably won't even have to do a lot of talking, and you're gone, right? So when he got on the stage, his pants were pulled down, exposing his buttocks. Lizzo then began yelling, "Take it off! Take it off!" while a club performer hit the security guard with whips. This is her security. Get your ass on the stage. I'm sure he was like, I ain't signed up for this, if that actually happened. I gotta keep myself clear. The suit also accuses Quigley of proselytizing everyone around her, shaming those who engaged in premarital sex, and oversharing her masturbatory habits and sex life with her husband. She would talk out loud about how many times she masturbates and what types of different positions or whatever sexual escapades her and her husband got into, and she was better than everybody else because she was married, and y'all are out here doing it without marriage. But I don't understand that. That sounds a bit bipolar, because one minute you're encouraging people to touch naked people and, you know, men getting whooped naked and this kind of stuff, and the next minute you talking about your sex life with your husband and putting down everybody else who isn't married for premarital sex. I don't know. Lizzo and Miss Scott questioned whether Miss Davis was struggling with something, as she seemed less committed to her role on a dance cast. Lizzo and Miss Scott pressed Miss Davis for an explanation why she seemed less bubbly and vivacious. This is Lizzo, I guess, the leader of her dancers, and they were pressing this one particular dancer. Like, what's going on with you? Come here. What's going on with you? You don't seem like yourself anymore. You don't seem like you in the mood. Are you up for this? Because, you know, we got to be on 10. We got to be turned every time we're out. Every time we get ready to perform. If you have something personal going on, then, you know what I mean, we might need to hear about it, see if we could help you with it, something you can deal with, all that other stuff, right? She seemed less bubbly and vivacious, and she did prior to the tour starting. In professional dance, a dancer's weight gain is often seen as that dancer is getting lazy, or that dancer is worse off as a performer in that world, right? Lizzo's girls are big. They're thick girls. Anyways, so I mean, any extra weight gain, I guess maybe you can be big but not too big, because she still wants you a certain level of big. It continued. Lizzo and Miss Scott questioned about Miss Davis' commitment to the tour were thinly veiled concerns about Miss Davis' weight gain, which Lizzo had previously called attention to after noticing it at the South by Southwest Music Festival. While Lizzo and Scott never explicitly said those words, Davis felt that she needed to explain her weight gain and disclose intimate personal details about herself and her life in order to keep her job. The dancer also claimed that they faced racial harassment from BGBT management, which they allege treated the black members of the dance team differently from all the other members of the dance team. BGBT's management is Lizzo's Big Girls management, Big Girls Entertainment team consists entirely of white Europeans who often accuse the black members of the dance team of being lazy. This part got me. BGBT's management team consisted entirely of white Europeans who often accuse the black members of the dance team of being lazy, unprofessional, and having bad attitudes. The lawsuit says not only do these words ring familiar as tropes used to discourage and, you know, let's put it this way. That's not what any hardworking black American wants to hear, because this is something that's been said, right? Someone has a saying that said, ever since they let us go off the plantation, we've been called lazy, right? So ever since we stopped working for free, we started being called lazy. No matter how hard we work, the title lazy was attached to us somehow. So this is what the lawsuit is saying, is that they see the same accusation were not leveled against dancers who are not black. They called the black dancers lazy and all other kinds of names, racially disparaging names, and they noticed that the white dancers or dancers of other races were not being called these kinds of names or treated in this manner. The lawsuit also included additional allegations including false imprisonment and interference with prospective economic advantage. However, not all of the claims pertain to all of the defendants. The stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seems to go against everything that Lizzo stands for publicly, while privately she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are not only illegal but are absolutely demoralizing. This is what Zambrano said in a statement. Davis and Williams began performing with Lizzo after competing on her Amazon reality show Watch Out for the Big Girls in 2021. This is what the suit says. They were later fired. Rodriguez was hired after performing in Lizzo's video Rumors the same year, according to the suit, but she resigned earlier in 2022. A rep for Lizzo has not yet replied to any of these. Anybody's trying to find out, yo, what's going on? Is this true? What's up with all this? A rep for Lizzo's production company, Big Girl Big Touring Inc., could not be reached for comments at this time. So these are allegations that are out there floating in the air, but they're big allegations because these big allegations are actually on people.com. I'm talking about People Magazine, people.com. Yeah, and other major news networks. Let me close this out by saying this. Whatever goes on in that world, I'm not in it, so I don't know. But I've heard, you know, we've all heard the stories. We've all heard the stories about how celebrities get down. These freaky parties that they have and their desires to indulge in things that might be shocking to the average person. I guess when you are hired to be around somebody who is top tier, because Lizzo is. She is a top earner. She is always in demand. She has a whole lot of awards under her belt. She has sold a lot of records. She is revered as one of those kind of people, you know. It's like you're in the presence of, not saying like you're in the presence of Beyonce, but you're in the presence of somebody who generates a lot of money, a lot of income, and is seen as somebody that is big and established in the industry. I never liked Lizzo as a performer because of, I mean, just seeing all that flesh and her antics that she used to do, right? Like she'll climb on a table and the table would break down, and she'll have one of these little skimpy outfits with all kinds of flesh hanging out here, there, and everywhere. I thought for a while that people were clowning her and she was trying so hard to be somebody that went viral, so to speak. But I later learned, because she kept going, and I kept wondering, who the hell is this person? And why are they giving a big old fat black girl all this attention, right? It's not like she's all curvy and whatever, the average video vixen kind of person that they would give this to. And then I went and did my research, and I found out that she is actually a real musician. Like, she actually really writes songs. She actually really plays instruments. She actually is really singing and dedicated to her craft. So the extra stuff with it, promotional reasons, her just letting free, being who she wants to be, I don't know. So I've come to accept it as that's who she is. This, I don't know if this lawsuit is going to be damaging. The claims of this lawsuit seems to be for stuff that happened with Lizzo in her company, but overseas. So let's see how this works out. Are they going to prosecute on American soil for something that happened overseas, or are they going to be like, yo, this didn't happen on US soil, so, and it's barely an accusation with no solid proof, so maybe we're going to just dismiss this case. I hope she doesn't end up like Tiffany Haddish. You know, I love to see a sister get money regardless, man. I'm not out here feeding anybody. And she can't call me and say, hey, yo, Hot Topics TV, could you help me pay this light bill and this phone bill and this water bill and my rent for the month because, you know, my stuff's not selling. She can't call me. So I don't knock how people make their money because I can't feed them. Everybody got to earn. So, you know, I just hope she doesn't end up like Tiffany Haddish. That's all I got to say. But the details, forcing people to grab naked body parts and eating bananas out of vaginas and all these other things and catching dildos that coochies are throwing into the air, that's wild. I would have loved to have been there to see it. I would have loved to have been there to see it. Let's be fair, right? But I wasn't. Yo, Lizzo, I volunteer. I could put on a couple of pounds. You know what I'm saying? I could gyrate and shake a little bit. I could be on tour with you. I just want to see all that extra stuff go down. And I promise I'm not suing nobody. Just don't put me on a stage and have anybody whoop me naked. That part. I'll catch y'all on the next video, man. It's Hot Topics TV. You already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.